Hello everyone. Previously I did an unboxing video on the Harbor Freight Titanium Unlimited 140 Multiprocess Welder. This is the new welder from Harbor Freight that does MIG, DC TIG, and stick welding, as well as flux core. We're actually going to do the review of this by modifying also the Harbor Freight welding cart that is sitting on currently. And as you can see right here, it sticks out about almost 2 inches. I can get that back a little bit more by flipping the bolts around on the back, but still. So what we're going to do is we're going to modify the cart with this 2-inch piece of angle iron that I've already got measured here, and we're going to cut out a little indentation because when you put it on the front here, which we're going to do, these controls get blocked. So we basically just got to cut like a little area here so that we can plug in the connection still, and add about a 2-inch little piece of angle iron that will secure the welder to the cart. So the plan is do this with MIG welding. I'm not going to do test stick today. And then I'll do some TIG on some of the scrap metal that I cut out of here. Just make this piece, cut it in half, and maybe TIG the two together just to kind of do a basic test. So that's the plan. Let's get started. And that's about how it's envisioned to be on when I get it welded onto this shelf here. Okay, so now we're ready to set up the welder. This is the regulator that gets provided with the welder. I'm going to put a little bit of tape here on the end and connect it to the tank that I purchased last week. Okay, I got the regulator on. I used a 1-inch wrench to attach that with also some NTPE tape to help seal it off there. This is the hose to connect the regulator to the back of the welder, approximately 5 feet long. I'm going to go ahead and connect that now. I used an 11/16 inch wrench to connect the regulator to the welder with that hose. So we're going to be loading up some Vulcan 0.030 wire here. Got the handy dandy card that comes with the welder, shows you how to load it, so I'm going to be doing that now. Alright, spool on with the brake pad in the back, keyed washer, spring, keyed washer, wing nut. Let's just check, see, make sure that we are set up for the right wire. Okay, here we are. 0.30. The default one that comes with it is for 0.25 and 0.30, and 0.30 is what was installed there. Okay, so got the wire through the wheel. I'm now going to hook up the torch. Alright, for MIG, we're going to hook up the negative terminal here. Or the ground to the negative is what it says. They are keyed. Just put that there for a minute. The MIG torch. Take off the tip here. Gonna verify it should be 0.030 tip, so the unit comes standardized with the 0.030 and the 0.25 wire wheel installed. There's another wheel that came with the welder. That's a it's a 0.30 and a 0.030, 0.035 wheel, and some more tips, and you know, some more torch heads. Okay, so a little bit of an update from yesterday. I took a motorcycle ride down to the Harbor Freight store, partially to clear my head and also to look at the floor model. Found out all of them with this wire feed connector right here. They all seem to be kind of loose. So I got home, I straightened out the pins on the connector, had it sitting level on my kitchen table. Had some light, got the pin spacing better, and was actually able to get that thing to seat. So I totally boxed this thing up, expecting to take it back, and now here we are again, ready to continue the review. So I've got the wire started about 12 inches. Gonna take off the tip. Make sure that this is a 0.30 also. It is. We're actually going to now, let's see, make sure we've got it set to MIG, 2T. We're going to power this on. And we are going to just hit the trigger. Okay. Appears there might be too much tension here. Still too much. Oh. Okay, start to fill it up here towards the end. Nope. There it is. Okay. It says for the adjustment on the tension, 2 to 3 inches away it should bend. Flat surface here. Okay, I'm going to say that's good. Turn it off. Okay, so here's the Harbor Freight welding table. I got some Harbor Freight magnets here to hold the 2 pieces together. Table's grounded. Ground off the powder coating on both the end and the top here where the connections are going to go. Took some acetone to the metal, clean it off, and now we're going to give it a go. We're going to take a look at the settings here and see what we need to do. So I'm going to test with 18 gauge here first. Setting, because I'm going with 1/8 and this, which I'm not sure the thickness of, but actually, you know what, maybe I'll go to 16 gauge just to be sure. So 135 and 16, 135 and 16. Put down the shield. And let's see what we got. Again, I'm not a welder. And I've got the thing way too far out there. So let's make some adjustments. This is Booger Weld Central. Okay, so this looks horrible. Again, I suck at welding. Got this to learn, and I clearly have a lot to learn. This side's a little better. You can see the burn through that started happening because I had it set up too high. However, this does seem to be good and strong. Strong enough to basically for the purposes I was looking at. So now we can just grind this down, paint it black, and hit the track. So this is some 1/8 inch steel just cut out to do like a different demo. So, getting a little better. Still looks like definitely a noob weld, but getting there. This is the TIG welding. It's definitely super hot. I'm using the recommended weld settings for 1/8 inch TIG on this. Definitely burnt hot, but it looks like the weld did get in the groove really good. Like I said, I gotta learn how to TIG weld. I'll probably be doing mostly MIG, but I just wanted to test out the capabilities of this TIG also and see how well it did. And here you can see the MIG that I did versus the TIG. The TIG, I gotta learn, I might have it turned up too much. Again, I followed what it said. It said 90 to 110 amps actually for 10 gauge. And this is 1/8. So, All in all, the machine seems to be working well. I got, had some learning on the first piece. You can see got the welding cart back here all, good. And it's, the weld's good and strong on that thing that I built on the beginning here. I'll take some pictures here in a minute, show that more. But all in all, I'm really happy with this machine. It does everything it's advertised to do. I'm not gonna do the stick welding at this time because it should be able to do that just fine if it can do MIG and TIG. So we'll show you just the device on the cart here and we'll wrap things up. So just wanted to cover on the welder here itself. When you're done with the TIG welding, your TIG is in the torch is in the minus and your ground clamp is on the plus. So when you're done and you want to get back to MIG, you just disconnect your TIG torch, move your ground clamp back over here to your minus, and put your MIG, your main connection here for the MIG into the plus, and now you're back to MIG welding. Oh, and this little switch right here, middle is TIG, bottom is MIG, and up is stick. This again is the 2T, 4T settings, the inductance, all that. We've got the cart here that I built. That is, this cart is holding up well. It does what I needed to. Again, it was the first set of welds, so it's very ugly. But right now, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the welder. It's doing what I want it to. Again, here's the welds. Just to show, this is the MIG. This is the TIG. It's a lift TIG, so I'm still getting used to the activation and the finesse of that. Also, it was really hot. Maybe had the settings too much, so maybe the recommended settings on the box are a little too high. And just to show this it was definitely probably cooking a little too hot. You can see here on the Harbor Freight welding table when we were doing that, the piece of metal is still extremely hot here. Got some good penetration over here. Over here, center. I think it's a strong weld, but I'd have to check it later. On the MIG, yeah, maybe that one might need to, didn't really go all the way through from the looks of it. But it also doesn't look like it got very even. As you can see, the metal there's got a slight bend to it. Again, I'm learning, so this is not an indictment of the machine. This is an indictment of the guy running the machine. So very happy with the Harbor Freight welder. This is the Titanium Unlimited 140 multi-process. Got the 2-pound wire spoon here. It's feeding well. Also found out when I was doing the first on the welding cart, I read the gauge wrong and actually had the gas turned up way too high. The CFMs on the gauge are the red numbers, and I thought they were the black there. So, adjusted that down now for these, and a lot cleaner than, these welds, but that ain't going nowhere. So I'm happy with what I did to modify this this Harbor Freight cart for the unit. And like I said, the TIG functionality, I figured it was $50 more, so I would just go ahead and buy this unit as opposed to just getting a MIG only. I plan to do mostly MIG, but I do want to learn how to do MIG, TIG, and I'll eventually get around to stick, just to play around with it too, although I really don't see doing much of that. But if you're thinking about this unit, It is about, depending on the price you get, $100 to $50, depending on the discount, more than the MIG 140, and it adds the lift TIG and the stick welding capability to it. And I've just, like I said, tested both of them out here, not the stick. I'm sure stick will work just fine, and worked really well for this, so very happy with the purchase. Definitely got a lot to learn, but that's why we bought this unit, right? Don't go out and invest in a super high dollar unit when your capabilities are not that high, right? Especially when you're just learning. Eventually, if I get better, like I said, I'll look at upgrading. But if this thing keeps working, it does its job. It welds metal together. So, if you like this video, please hit the like down below, and also hit subscribe. We'll soon be working on some projects out there. It's a 78 Firebird. That's going to be what the main reason I started this channel was. This was just kind of some kickoff videos to go over some things, and for me to also learn how to do get the YouTube channel stuff going. And as you can see, all sorts of projects here in Lance's garage. I built that bike with some help of some buddies about 6 years ago. Got this for a kid, got a great deal on it so that he could learn to ride. Wife's bike in the far corner, my main ride right there, and we got the nephew's scoot in the garage also right now. And we got to clean this place up, as you can see here. But again, hit like and subscribe if you thought this video was good and informative.